Might not be.
How you feeling health-wise?
Good. Back to 100%. So that's pretty good. I'll still be wearing, a knee brace out there on the field just to prevent getting rolled up on. But other than that, I've got no knee brace on.
When you went down with this injury, did you expect, when you would eventually come back, this much to change with your role?
Initially when I went down, I wasn't sure, honestly, how long I'd be out. Just the severity of kind of how it went down during the game. It was good to know that I'd be back during the season, but at the same time, too, I understand that I'm not, I'm in a position where I'm not out there playing. And, luckily, we have some very talented quarterbacks in our room. So I knew coming back that, nothing is handed to you. And that's kind of what I expected fully going forward. So at that point, it's well, how can I help this team be successful? So that's been the whole thing for me in my role.
What are your thoughts on Brock?
Kind of what I thought during fall camp. Very talented kid. I thought he had a bright future. To be honest, I wasn't surprised at what he's been doing. Just the growth he's made, I think, in the film room, just grasping the offense, and then at the end of the day, he has a ton of ability. So for him, it's applying, what he's been learning, and then using his God-given ability to make plays. That's been really impressive.
Going into this season, did you figure, okay, at some point, given the talent that he had and Zeb had, that okay, you were going to be battling both those guys for playing time anyways?
I mean, honestly, it's a competition every single day, but, we went through fall camp. I had a great camp. I didn't feel like I was battling anybody, but, you're not just handed your starting position either. So, but I know there's a ton of talent. So, you're not a competitor if you aren't competing against those guys every day. But that's how it is in the entire quarterback room with everybody in there.
What's your last 2 months or whatever since the injury been like in terms of rehab and kind of getting back?
The rehab's been, different. Even being injured last year, it was an upper half injury. So for the knee injury, it's been very different. That's been tough. It's been very tough, honestly. Just kind of going through several different stages of that, not thinking I'd even be back at all, and then finally, making progress. And then now I'm at the point where I've made a ton of progress this past probably 2 weeks or so. So it's been a huge mental battle, probably more behind the scenes than people realize. But it's easier for me to go out there and be excited and be positive like I have been around those guys. But being away from the facility too, it's hard coming in at early in the morning, doing treatment, staying away from the team too. Definitely one of the most difficult things I've been through.
Was there a point where you thought you weren't going to be able to come back this year?
I mean,
that you were done?
I felt like that a lot early on, especially just with, I've never have had a knee injury before, and I went down, I felt a pop in the knee, and then I was surprised to be able to get back up and play a few plays. But that's kind of what happens when you get injured, though. You just go through these mental battles throughout the entire time. But there was no timeline. That was kind of the thing that scared me. And there would be weeks where we'd make no progress, and I'd be like, well, am I going to get better for the rest of the season? So, that was difficult.
What were your conversations like with Brock when he did get into that game against Oklahoma State and in practice, so on and so forth?
Just continuing to help him out. Kind of the same thing. I really didn't change much with them. I always brought them in to watch film with me. Always was coaching them up on the practice field. But now I had more time. I'm not out there practicing. So, instead of me taking all those reps, they're taking their reps. So every time they're coming out, I'm coaching them up on what they've been seeing, and then really just a lot of extra film time with them. But I wouldn't say anything crazy change, just kind of being me, I guess, through them and being that senior leader in that group.
Coach Campbell has said coaching may be something you could get into. Is that something you want to get into?
Yeah, it's something, I've put a lot of thought into. I think being back healthy now, maybe at some point I'd still like to pursue an opportunity to play at the next level. And then if that doesn't work out, then I'd love to be here. But I've talked to him about that. And, for me, it'd be awesome to stay here and help Iowa State any way I can.
How difficult is it to go through this after everything you worked through just to get to a starting spot?
Hard to put into words, honestly. To go through what I did last year, and then you go through this whole deal where you get this 6th year, and then there's a lot of hype coming into the season. You go through my first off season of being the starter, and then all of a sudden, you're out. Big rivalry game. We end up losing the game. That's still been on my mind, but it's kind of one thing that Coach Campbell's talked about. We're not promised our hopes and dreams, but at the end of the day, I have to control what I can, and I think everything that I've been through up to this point has helped me to that. And so, at my point, I was voted captain. I've been here forever. Like, these guys look to me to be a leader. So what can I do to help this team out? And I think at the TCU game, we all kind of looked at ourselves in the mirror and really took advantage of what we've been through and really bought into kind of making the season everything we could have. And right now, you're seeing that pay off.
If this is it for you, if you don't end up getting to play again, are you happy with just how your career has transpired in college?
Yeah, I would say I'm happy with what it's been. I don't think it's over in any regards. It's just I think we have so much playing time left in the rest of the season. I don't know if I will play the rest of the season. I understand that completely, but the biggest thing for me is like I was able to come back and able to get to this point again and be such a big influence on this team. That's the big thing for me. Even if it's not on the field, like I want to help this program as much as possible, and I want my influence to be felt for years to come. And through the quarterbacks, through the rest of the team, like I want to be that leader, and that's been really important to me.